What's going on, people? Hope you're having a fantastic day. You look amazing as always. In this video, we have something a little bit different for you. It's actually an episode of my podcast. So for anybody who's unaware, I run a show called Project Passion, where I interview a ton of cool people who have built lifestyles, careers, and businesses through social media and other online tools. But this episode in particular was so applicable to what I talk about here on YouTube, primarily Instagram and Instagram growth, that I had to share it with you guys. So in this episode, I sit down with Farouk, who is one of the OG experts on Instagram and has been crushing it there since almost the inception of the platform. Throughout the episode, he shares how he went from 0 to over a 10 million follower network in only 2 years on the platform. And he also shares a ton of insight as to how you can grow a business, how you can grow on Instagram in general, and why he thinks Instagram is such a powerful platform and the most powerful platform out there. If you're interested in Instagram, this is exactly where you want to be. You're going to want to watch every single minute of this video and maybe even rewatch it, because Farouk drops so many knowledge nuggets that can help you crush it on Instagram. If you're fired up to hear from one of the best names in the Instagram game and to level up your own presence on Instagram, take 2 seconds, smash the like button on this video. That's enough from me. Let's get into the video. Let's hear from Farouk and let's crush it on IG. Let's go. Farouk, my man, you got your cold brew. You're ready to go. How you doing today?
I'm good, bro. What's up, Ben? Thank you for having me on. Uh, it's just, it's just a great day out here.
That's it, man. And that's what I love about your stuff, is that you're always positive energy all the time, right? So I want to get into, because there's tons of people who follow you who probably don't have a clue about your whole story. And like, I know a little bit from doing a little bit of digging here, but I don't know it all, and I'd love to. So what was your childhood like? Where did you grow up? Because I know you're in Montreal now, but I think you moved there like when you were a kid, right? So like, can you give me a
Yeah.
whole story of where you grew up and how you got to where you live now?
Yeah. Well, my name's Farouk. I'm a 25-year-old entrepreneur. I was born in Paris in 1994, where I was mostly raised. And when I was around 7, 8 years old, we moved here to Canada with my family. I was just like 8, 9 years old in 2003, and been there ever since. And my family's from Iran. So originally, both my parents are from Tehran, Iran. So I'm of Persian descent, born in Paris, grew up in Canada. So it's like kind of international here.
Yeah, no kidding. That's everywhere. That's awesome. So what was the motivation for your parents to move to Canada?
It was a work thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Right
was
on.
young, so it's not like out of my
Yeah, of course.
control.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I
absolutely.
guess they always love Montreal. I mean, Montreal is really like a beautiful place, a beautiful city, a great place to raise your kids.
Yeah.
And we have amazing schools, the school system and everything. So, I assumed that was like a big like factor, but I wouldn't know exactly.
Yeah, for sure. My dad grew up in Montreal for a bit, and he said that it was a good time, so he definitely enjoyed his time
Oh
there.
yeah, it's definitely a good time.
Yeah, people definitely love visiting there for sure. So you came to Canada, and like obviously you're a full entrepreneur now, but when you were growing up, what were you into? Like, what were your interests? Were you into sports? Were you like, obviously clearly fashion and like luxury had an influence, which we'll talk about later. But like, what
Yeah.
was the building blocks when you were a kid growing up in Montreal?
I mean, look, I was the type of kid that was into like a lot of different things. Honestly, I was always very curious. I tried a lot of different things. I was obviously heavy into sports.
Mm.
I competed in squash for about
Gosh,
10,
that's
15,
dope.
10, 12 years. Yeah. I was 5-time Quebec champion in squash, under
Let's
13,
go.
15, 16, 17, and a little bit under 19. And we used to travel for like the US Open to Harvard with the team, to Canadian Opens here all the time. So we do a couple tournaments every year, like 10, 15 tournaments easy.
That's
And
bad.
so I competed in that a lot. Yeah. Part of Team Quebec, sponsored athlete, but I've played around like whatever, soccer, judo, hockey, golf,
Yeah.
like you name it, like always like super into sports. As a matter of fact, when I was 7, my dream was to be the Persian Tiger Woods. Don't ask me why. It's just like I was like, I'll be the first Iranian dude on the PGA Tour. So it's like I've always jumped around, and then different interests my whole life. Whether it's like when at some point I was 15, my dream was to be a trader. Don't ask me why. I was, I saw it. I loved finance. I love these things. I opened a fake portfolio, like fake play
Yeah,
money at
Lachlan.
14, 15, just trading with my friends and just having fun. So just always been a very curious person. Tried a lot of different things, and yeah, always had my mind open to whatever. And then at 17, actually, I got super into law. And like, I really wanted to become an attorney because I was always fascinated by law and how it works. Because like, to me, it's like the root of society.
Yeah.
And even today in business, it helps me a lot, which we'll get to. But it's just, so I got into law school. Like I went to school, and then at 17, I got into law school. So I skipped that undergrad part because here you can in Quebec, if you have there's like, they take certain amount of students
Okay.
directly from what we call CEGEP, which is like the end of high school, like 13th, 12th grade,
Yeah.
or whatever you guys call it. I'm not sure. Everyone's different wherever you are in the world. So I went to university/college, 17, law school. I did 2 years at University of Montreal in French. And then I did 2.5 years at UCAM. It was like law international relations,
Okay.
and went on a 4-month semester in Italy, in Bologna. So I lived in Italy as well. And and then I was like, you know what? My business started taking off. Social media, everything just boomed. And I was like, I'm not returning. It's just too much. And I never ended up finishing. But that's definitely one of my passions.
That's crazy, man. So yeah, I'm just writing down questions here now because I wasn't even aware of that whatsoever. So one thing I will say is that so many of these hyper successful people that I interview, a lot of them had sports as part of their upbringing, and
Yeah.
I'm sure it has a lot to do with the competitive juices and all that good stuff. So
Discipline.
yeah, I think that's a core element to it too. So if you could speak to like one or two things as to like what you really pulled from sports that you still
Yeah.
apply today, what would those two things be?
Like honestly, and I think I wrote about that before, but what sports really taught me is discipline,
Mm,
is showing up every time to become better. Because we know that the best athletes in the world, the greatest, and even not the greatest, but even in each category, whatever sport you're doing, I was doing squash, the best kid in my category, right? Um, Always the people who worked the most and the hardest and just most consistently. So I
yeah.
think that sports really teaches people discipline. And that's why my mother originally, I think, put me into judo as well, is because she wanted me to learn, like, literally, I'm going to repeat myself, but discipline is such
Yeah,
an
yeah, yeah.
important word, and we
Important.
don't talk about it enough. We
No,
talk about consistency, we talk about respect, loyalty, this, that, hard work, but we don't talk about discipline.
mm,
So I think that the main thing any sport will teach someone is hard work, dedication, and discipline. Those are really the key takeaways for sure.
I like that. Yeah, because I think discipline is probably the one that is the least spoken about or the least
Least
emphasized.
spoken about. Yeah.
Yeah. And it does have such a key connection to your output levels because it's one of those things when you're disciplined, you'll get ahead when the other people are slacking, right? Because you know that you're still moving forward every single day. So I really, really like that. That's awesome. So you touched on that while you're going through law school, which is crazy. I didn't even know you did that. That's awesome. You started to build your business then. So like, can you speak to like, what was the first start of that and what was the motivation to get going in business and in social?
Um, I guess the motivation to get started in business in general is because I always had that like entrepreneurial kind of like side to me,
So what was your
where
first
like
entrepreneurial endeavor? I always love to hear these.
I would say, and it's tough, and I always ask myself that because when you always as a kid, little things, but I don't say, oh, when I was 6, I sold lemonade. Yeah, okay, like everyone did that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
like my first really entrepreneurial touch is like I was around 14 years old,
Okay.
and it was just my mother, my brother, and I just did not want to take money from my mom. Like I just had this thing that I don't want any allowance, even if it was just $20, right? I was like, I'll make my own, and I used to sell tickets to all age parties here in
Nice.
Montreal. So
Nice.
we used to throw these 1,000 people parties with no booze, nothing, right? Like
Yeah.
all age events, so very restricted, right? It was really like 14 to 18, and it was just like we would sell tickets, and that was just for me to make maybe an extra $100 per weekend or like $200 per weekend. And then I like started going up in the echelons where I
Yeah.
would have promoters under me every weekend, right? So we just started doing that at 14. And then I always try to sell stuff, like whether it was an iPhone, like electronics hanging around. Like we all have had or have still like electronics hanging around in the basement, right? Somewhere, or your uncles or your friends. And
Yeah.
that's what I would do. I would just go around trying to sell stuff just to make a buck, because I just wanted
Mhm.
to make my own money. I got my first job at 16, and I think that's what taught me the most was sales. So I was really like on the floor selling clothing, like selling jeans for 2 years, for
Yep.
16 to 18 is like a full-time, or like I was at school at the same time. So like during school is like a one day, like every Saturday, but like in the summer, it was like a 40, sometimes I would work 52 hours a week. Like I would just do it at minimum wage, just straight sales. So that was really like while I was trying to sell things. And then eventually I got a job in a law firm when I was 18, as I was a law school student. And that's really when I realized that like, I'm not sure this is for me, you
Okay.
know, and I'll tell you what really like ticked it for me is, as much as I admire and I adore law, and I have a lot of respect for attorneys because I know what the process of going through law school and then passing the bar, it's crazy, like is like, especially in Quebec, it's one of the hardest bars in North America, I think after New York. And and um, and so I realized that I didn't want to be the attorney, but I wanted to be the client.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
So I really was more interested in the person walking into our office, like whatever I could see as an entrepreneur. He's a self-made, successful businessman. I love that, rather than the attorney doing the work for him. And mind you, I worked for a very successful attorney here in Montreal, a very notorious one that really gave me a chance that a lot of people would really dream to have. So I was always blessed in that sense, but it was just not for me. So then I moved on to, so while I was still in school and still building my business, I was selling student rental, like leasing, student rental, like for a private company. It was
Okay.
an American company. We were renting like dorms, like, you know, like it was
Yeah.
a private like student dorms by McGill University here in Montreal. And that was like also a grind, you know. I was just like leasing, killing it. It was always my thing. And the fun story, to go back to why I was always entrepreneur minded, one day in that hotel, because it was an old Holiday Inn that was rebuilt to become a student dorm, right? I went to the basement and I saw 50 TVs. I guess it was the old TV for when they replaced every
Okay.
rooms, right? So I go to the security guy and the general manager. I'm like, hey, and at that stage I'm like 18, right? I'm like, what are you doing with these TVs? You know?
Yeah.
They're like, oh yeah, they're just sitting there. I said, how much you want for them? And they go 25 a pop. I said, okay, 50 TVs, 25 a pop. I have to come up with that much. And mind you, I did not have like a crazy amount of money back then. I maybe had 3-4 grand saved.
Yeah.
And we're talking Canadian money, like Monopoly dollars, right? And and then and then I'm like, all right. So I went like half and half with someone. I said, I'll sell it to you. I'll buy them all. I posted them on Kijiji here. It's like
Yeah.
a Craigslist. Like you have Kijiji because
Yeah.
you're in
Yeah. I got
Toronto.
you. Yep.
So I posted them. 2 hours later, I get a call from this store. He's like, hey, I'll buy them all. How much? They go 50 a pop. So it's 100%
Double
flip.
the money.
So I did that. And you know, and from then, like, it's just like I always had this thing. And funny enough, I ended up getting fired from that job 4 months in because I did something.
Okay.
And then, but it's not, it was like the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah.
Because I always had the good life and I was always trying to build my socials at the same time. So we'll get to that. I was already getting big on Tumblr. That's when I was like popping.
Okay.
2014, 150,000 followers on Tumblr, because that's where I started in 2011. It was back then called Mr. Good Life, my blog that I started while working in a clothing store when I was 16. So
Mm.
that's while all the stories I just told you for the last 5 minutes, I was running a blog called Mr. Good Life where I was sharing my passion for luxury, cars, fine craftsmanship, architecture, and everything.
Okay.
First 2 years, I had 1,000 followers. The last year was when I went from 1,000 to 100K.
Jeez.
And that's when I got fired. I went to my buddy's place. I grabbed a piece of paper. I grabbed a pen. I sat down and I said, this is good life. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to offer this service, that service. And then I'm going to go on Instagram and I'm never looking back. And that's what I did.
That's amazing.
And I was like, oh, I'm going to start a business. I'm going to make $500 a month. That was my goal.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, literally, that's how little and humble my goals were. But I just wanted to go and do
Started
something.
though. Yeah, that's huge.
You know, so that's what led me to then open the path to social media.
Amazing, man. That's awesome. So, like, I was never into the Tumblr game, or that space whatsoever. So that's completely over my head. What was what was the strategy for growing on Tumblr at that time?
It was just content.
Just
It was just content, and then we would create little groups of people and reblog each other because there was not a retweet there or share. It's called a reblog.
Okay.
And it was just that. It was just we would share like really high-end luxury content, and we were some of the first people to do it. And like actually, yeah, top first 5 people to do it in the niche.
Yeah.
And it was just like that eye too. Like I don't know how to explain it because it was just me doing it like all day long. Even if I was in class, I was in law school, like constitutional law, and I'm just editing pictures of like BMWs and shit, you know. And that's what I was doing. And it's just like finding the right picture, the right angle, and then I would add that like good life touch that if you go on the good life Instagram page, you notice it was like that. Yeah, it's like that. So people were attracted to that. And virality, bro. I mean, shares, reblogs, and then sharing each other and growing as a group, right? Because on
Mhm.
social media, it's really power in the
Very
numbers.
group oriented.
It's shares, and it's what we're doing right now. You know, it's
Hmm.
collaborating with people, right? So it's the same concept. And yeah, that's how I grew. And it was just, we capitalized. I mean, bro, I was on the platform 10 out like hours a day. I don't even know. I can't tell you.
You
It's just
grinded it out.
16 hours a day. I don't know. I would sometimes go home, start editing. It's 6 in the morning. You know, it's
Yeah,
just fun though.
true.
It was not money driven either, by the way. It was just driven by the will to just go big and just
Yeah, yeah.
build something cool.
I love that. That's awesome. So when you decided to start this Instagram account and you sat down, you made a plan. Like I think that right there is awesome because I think that's the very reason why so many people don't find success is that they don't even find a plan. Whereas you sat down, you're like, it's going to be this, 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 this,
Yeah.
this, and then you brought it into the world through working backwards from that. So what did that plan look like? So you said $500 a month, but like what else were the things? You also mentioned you said it's going to do this, 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 this. What were those
Yeah.
things?
So back then, I had 150,000 followers on Tumblr, and I was just getting like, I had Instagram since 2012, but I wasn't really full time on it,
Yeah.
and then maybe I had 1,000 followers, and then but I was actively looking at luxury pages back then, like who was doing what on Tumblr, and there was just a handful. Like maybe the biggest luxury page back then had a 50K followers, because back then when you had 100K followers on Instagram,
That was big,
it
big.
was like whoa,
Yeah.
not even the millions. Like okay, cool, you know, like
Yeah.
well, in our space. I don't
Yeah.
want to I don't want to downplay or sound arrogant either. It's just in the space,
No, of
in the
course.
business. It's like,
That's
yeah, you have a
important.
million follower page. Wow, that's great. But it's like, there's now it's 10 million. That's like, whoa.
Wow.
Because why is it 100? Because Justin Bieber had like 3 million followers back then, bro. Now he has like
Hmm.
200 million. You know what I mean?
True.
So just for reference. But so I was looking at Instagram, and all these Instagrammers were stealing my Tumblr edits.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, bro. And so it's funny. I found a screenshot of me with 1,000 followers saying my edits are all over IG, and it was like my claim, like on my bio, so people know. So what I did is that's what really got me into Instagram. Is like I saw all these guys, and when I say all my edits, even though I didn't own the photos, so I didn't take it personal because I
True.
didn't own the photos, but I would get rights, and then they would be cool with it, and I would edit, and I would like make my own touch, so it would be completely different, right?
Hmm.
And they were all over Instagram. And so what I did is I reached out to all these luxury pages, like 17,000 followers, 20,000, because, and I was like, hey, those are my edits. But instead of like, fighting them and whatever, I said, hey, I'm gonna keep editing for you.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna get you all the content you need. And then I went to people like Jason Stone, Millionaire Mentor.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He had 32K when I reached out. Okay, he has 6 million now.
Yeah.
And I was like, bro, like, I'll make your quotes. Just shout me out. I'll make his logo. By the way, the
You
logo
made
that you
that?
guys see today. Yeah, of course we did.
That's
Yeah. So
amazing.
here's what happened. So I'm posting on Instagram. I have 1,600 followers. I get a like from someone called Think Grow Prosper,
Okay.
Ruben Chavez, one of the biggest inspiration pages in the world right now, like 3-something million.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, bro, like, thanks for liking. It's like, bro, you have a dope like sense of style. I love your vision. I'll add you to a group called Motivation Mafia. Okay. So now listen to this. We're the first people to do quotes on Instagram. Okay. Now we have this little group of people, like all the pages, like Agent Steven, Motivation Mafia, like, Before 5 a.m., Addicted to Success, Boss Things, Big Toys, and myself, right?
Hmm.
And a few others, Secrets to Success. So all the big motivation pages you see right now. And I was like, sort of what my value to them was just, I would just like start editing for them and delivering the photos, right? And curating it for them in exchange of shout outs. So
Okay.
that was like when I sat down, when you say, when did you arrive? I was like, I'm going to deliver value. What's my value? I'm going to make photos for them and edit for them instead of in exchange for shouts. The second axis was my friend was good at making logos because we had learned through Tumblr how to do things. I was like, I'm going to make logos for people. And that'll be my first grant. I'll do like $25, $50 logos.
Yeah.
But first, I'm going to give 3 people free logos. So I made Think Grow Prosper's logo. I made Millionaire Mentor's logo. And
Oh,
I don't remember. I did a few more. We did with the person I was doing it with. But I was the one out there doing this thing. I was just having him help me. And they shouted me out. And that's where I started growing. That's
that's
where I started really growing. Yeah. So that was the second part. And then the third part, I was like, well, down the line, the next 3-4 months, I'm going to grow Good Life to be at like 25K, 50K. And then I'm going to start advertising. Because I had the vision already to start selling shout outs.
okay.
Because you see now, you'll say, oh, duh, like everyone does that. But in 2014,
It wasn't a thing.
nobody did that.
Yeah.
It didn't exist. I don't think the word influencer was coined in the dictionary yet,
No.
actually. Yeah. So So that was the three things: deliver value. So curate and edit content for pages, make logos, and then grow my platform. Those were the three things I wrote down.
That's amazing, man. I love that. And that's so like what was it that about you that made you so early on the platform? Because I didn't get into the social media space until like 3 or 4 years ago. And the fact that you started when you did, that gives you like a crazy opportunity which you took and ran with. Like what was it about you that made you want to be looking for that stuff? Because I think the biggest thing was when I was that age, I wasn't looking for that stuff. Like why were you?
I've been doing social media since I'm 12, bro.
Wow.
Like before the Tumblr stuff. Yeah. So when Facebook was invented, I was 12. And the same week I got onto it, I was always fascinated by it, just how it worked. Like before even the DM option, the wall, it was just a wall.
Bare
Even to
bones.
write a status, there was that
Yeah,
remember?
yeah, yeah.
Anyways, so automatically I started doing pages, like meme, the original meme pages. Like everyone had meme pages for their own schools. I had a page for my school and I was anonymous, and I had, out of 800 students, there was 800 followers.
Let's go. That's
Everybody was wondering, oh, who's CMF memes? Like, Collège Marie de France, like, who is this? It was me the whole time. My best friends didn't know. And on the last day, I just posted my face on the page. You know what I mean?
that's
When I
baller
graduated.
move.
And also, like, those, like, something problems pages back then on
Yes,
Twitter?
yes,
When
yeah.
I was 15, I started Montreal Problems. No, 14. So I grew 10,000 followers in, like, a month doing that. So I was always, like,
Looking for it.
social media was always so fascinating to me
Mm-hmm.
because it was always the fact that it can reach the world from the tip of my thumbs and my fingers. And now it sounds basic, but again, you got to see this from 2012 perspective, right?
Different
2013,
world.
2014. So
Yeah.
it was just like, so cool. Even 2011 started Tumblr. So then through Facebook, Instagram, whatever, I saw Tumblr and I was like, whoa, that's cool. It allows me to express myself. Like, cause it's a cool platform. It's super sad what happened to it, but
Yeah.
it was fun, Tumblr, arguably you could tell it has birthed the first real influencers. Like all the people I know, a lot of people I know, like my friend Jason Wong, now he's crushing it, like on e-com and stuff. He started back on Tumblr. Like a lot of people I know started back then. They had big Tumblr pages that they converted to Instagram, but very few of us managed to do that. Because also it's about opportunity and timing. So when I told you I had 150,000 followers, were November 14, right? 2014. And I saw that Instagram was going to blow up. I just made the jump. I logged out and I didn't log back into my Tumblr page for 4 years.
You full
Some people
jumped.
thought I was dead. Yeah, some people reached out to me, hey, are you dead? No, I'm alive. I'm just on Instagram. Like literally.
So
I
why'd you
logged
believe
out.
in it so much?
It was so cool, man.
Yeah.
Instagram is, like, to me today, still the best platform in the world. And it is. It's the most powerful social media platform on the planet, if you ask me. And it's just, I just believed in it. I can't tell you why I believed in it. It's just like, I just did. Like, it was so cool. And sharing a photo, and then I was looking around me, my friends, family, and people, and everyone was scrolling. That's the OG days of just scrolling all day, whatever. And I'm like, 100 million users. People are scrolling a lot because it was like 100 mil back then, maybe a little less.
Yep.
People are scrolling all the time. What am I going to do to make money on there? Because I loved it. And I was like, I want to make money. Like, I always been driven. I want to start a business. I want to make money. I want to provide to my family. I had to find something, bro. I had to find something. Also, given this context situation I was in personally with my family, everything, I was like, I got to bring money. I got to make it. I want to start something. And I was like, I'm already big on Tumblr. I know how to do this social media stuff. I'm good at it. And I'm going to go for it. And I did it. And then from November 2014 to January 2015, I just did my homework while I was in school. I was just on social. I would go to school, and at night I would be on social media all night long, get lost on Kick Messenger chats, get lost on Instagram, like one page to the other, to the other, to the other, this hashtag, that growth hack, this. We run the first group pods that people call pods, like the
Yep.
mainstream media called it pods. I don't know what they call it, but group chats with a bunch of pages to shout each other out. I was the first person to do that. We're one of the first. We started that trend. So it's just like we started doing this, growing together. So I would manage those groups because, like, I always wanted to be, like, in control of things, to be able to just build together, right? Because that was the vision. So I would say, okay, you guys all have luxury pages. Let's put the 10 biggest luxury pages in the world together. So it's 50 to 100K big, and let's just shout each other out. So that's how we grew. So from November to January 15, I grew to like 50,000 followers, and then it's just started. I found other pages that I took possession of, and then it got me to another level, and I made my first dollar on Instagram January 16th, 2015, and then I made $1 every single day for the next 2 years. Every day I started selling ads. So I went from 0 to 10 million followers owned across multiple pages in 2 years. I
Damn.
just started growing, and then growing multiple channels. Because the way I saw the business was, I'm a TV station. When you turn the TV on, you have CNN, you have the news, you have National Geographic, you have whatever, this and that. So I had a love page, a life hack page, a nature page, a travel page, a luxury page. But my main baby was always Good Life.
Yeah.
Right? Because there was a luxury page, luxury theme, my favorite. And to me is the most valuable, like money-wise, like the most valuable niche is luxury, right? So I was like, you know what? Like, I'm just going to run with that.
That's unreal, man. I always like find it crazy when I hear people who, because so many people would be so scared to leave the following that you had built on Tumblr. You know what I mean? Like, because they hold on to it so dearly because they know the work that went into it. But that's crazy that you saw the opportunity and you went full blown and went for it. I love that. So what was the like evolution of where you started to make money? Like you said, you made your first dollar. Was it February of 2015?
No, January. Yeah, January 16th.
Oh, okay, 16. So what was like? How'd you make that first dollar?
It was so like I said,
Shout
I
out.
realized that people were people were addicted to their phones. I'm like, how am I gonna bring the attention here?
Mm-hmm.
How am I gonna bring an advertisement there? Because I looked around, like when I was watching TV, nobody watches the ad. They get up to go to the restroom, or they
Get away
grab
from
a
it.
bite, or they zap. Okay, let's be honest. So I was like, I'm gonna bring it there. So I had this page with 147,000 followers on top of Good Life. And I was using that to grow Good Life as well, and also to like get access to bigger people, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I just cold emailed like 500 companies. Like I was grinding it from by the way, all of that from a busted up iPhone 5 because I couldn't afford better. Okay. And I couldn't afford a MacBook, and my MacBook was old and stuff, and it was not compatible with the computer. So it was just that, like all of this, picture of this small iPhone, cracked and everything, and I would send emails all day long, emails, and DMs, and I found advertisers. So I said, hey, how much for an ad? I said $50, and then 50, and he booked me for the week, and then I started finding more and more and more. And as I was making money, I was growing and getting more pages and adding them to my network. So I was like, okay, I went from a $50 offer to $1,000 offer because I was like, yo, get this page, this, get that page. And I started doing it myself and building my own little empire. Like I called it that because it's my own little empire, you know? It's my followers. Yeah. So it was fun, and then it grew fast, and you know, built a business, and then the budgets then go from 1,000 to 10,000 and to more, and then you start building an agency, you start building a business. So I outgrew the influencer stage very fast because I was never interested in being an influencer. Oh, look, like buy this, you know? Okay, cool, boring. Like I want to build a business, you know? So I was more like I wanted to build a media company. Now people call it an SMMA or whatever they want to call it, but it was a media company from the get-go, and that was always the vision.
That's unreal, man. So I think there is a fine balance, and I think a lot of people like they get so fixated on the money that they like go too hard on ads or shout outs, and it can really limit the ability to grow. Like how did you handle that? How did you learn how to like how much is too much or how much is not enough? Like how did you find that sweet spot?
I mean, you obviously don't want to abuse your page because you wanna like keep posting good content. But mind you, I was at some point I had 6 pages. I was posting 10 times a day on each, so I was posting 60 times a day.
Jeez,
and wait, hold on. There was no multiple account login back then.
oh no, you had to log out and log in.
Yeah, you were only allowed. The terms of services even said you were only allowed one Instagram page. Okay, so it was just like literally log out, log in, log out, log in, log out, log in all day long. I couldn't buy more iPods and stuff like that. I didn't have that kind of money and stuff. I was just building. And it's just like, that's what it was. It was just to not saturate the page. It was just posting content in between. You have an ad, make sure you post, another ad, post. And the focus again was never like you said, it was never just money. Like on Good Life, I didn't run a single ad until I had like a couple 100,000 followers.
Mm-hmm.
Like I really waited for the page. And even now, bro, I barely run.
I was about to say,
barely run anything. It's my baby.
Never see anything. Yeah.
You never do it. And even when you don't even know it.
You don't know it.
But it's slick. It's slick because I know there's those laws, and I don't want to, this is going on YouTube. There's just FTC regulations and stuff like that. So with all respect to it, with the right tags, but it's just the content fits the page. So I'm going to make a deal with I'm gonna make a deal with a high-end tailor. I'm gonna make a deal trying with a car maker or real estate people, like stuff that fits the page and the brand itself. Because we're
Okay.
still getting high engagement. Just this week, I'm at 10 million impressions, 3 million profile visits in the last 3 days on Good
Yeah.
Life. So I want to keep it at that because there's a certain
Yeah.
standard I'm trying to sell to. You don't need small little advertisers. I'm looking at big picture here.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome, man. So the network that you built of all these different pages, are they still under your control, or did you sell those off?
So I got rid of about 3 million followers of mine at the beginning of this year during the COVID everything. Because I took a step back and I was like, I don't need that much. So I got rid of that. Also, unfortunately, 2 of my pages got disabled. That happens.
Oh,
Whatever it happens, it happens.
yeah.
It's a love page I had with 800K, and another page, it was more on the sexual side. Happens. Instagram's like Jehovah's Witnesses. They just did. So, and it was not. By the way, we were respecting the terms of services because I know I literally, that's my law background.
Yeah,
I
true.
read that
You
thing.
would read through.
I read it. I read it when there's an update. I look into it. Like I try not to play against Big Brother here because I know they own the platform. So yeah, lost about 2 million to that, 2.5 million to be 3 pages to the disabled, and but yeah, still have about like 5-6 million followers right now, just hanging. I run Good Life actively. That's 1.6 million. My personal page also, that's my full-time focus right now.
Yep.
250,000 followers on Farouk, my personal brand. That's where I'm headed. And then the rest, I still have a few million followers, but don't pay that much attention to it. I
Okay.
wish I did, but I can only do so
You
much.
still only have so much time. Yeah, yeah. And that's what I want to bring it to, was the personal brand side. And then also a little deeper into where your business is now. Because obviously you're far beyond that $500 a month goal. You've shattered that. So
Yeah.
I'd love to hear more about the business structure today and what you offer to people.
Yeah. So now, I mean, we're a full service digital media company,
Mhm.
Good Life Media. We do marketing, branding, communication strategies online for clients and customers. So this is like the solution that I bring. Like, let's say you want to be seen by like a couple million people, and this is what we do for advertisers. Matter of fact, just my pages, we do about 40-50 million impressions a week. And we advertise to a total extended network of about 100 million impressions every month.
Wow.
So I have advertisers, and we do a lot of influencer marketing, and but mostly the business that I'm running now, we're very focused on the consulting side of things. We take the client, and we really we draw the curtain back, and we do everything with them. So
Mhm.
we do business strategy, content strategy, community building strategy, and I do not call it growth. See, everyone calls it growth, and people are saying, do you do Instagram growth? No, I don't. I do community building.
I like that.
And with an expertise in personal branding. So in the agency, we like to take personal brands above everything. So let's say coaches, mentors, and of course, like we screen them and make sure everything's legitimate, the offer is legitimate, because I pick my clients.
Mhm.
I know people like to pick the company they work with, but I like to pick the people I work with because it's very important to my name and reputation as well, with which I'm very careful.
Of course.
Okay, so we pick the right people, and we really like nurture them, and like we take them on, as a family, and we just like help them out, so that's what we do. A lot of consulting, and then a lot of outreach, and a lot of building. We help them with everything. Like, you need a website, we have graphic designers just sitting in the office right next to me, 2 of them, building website all day long. I have 4 guys. Actually, I have one of them right here. If I turn the camera, he's filming me right here.
Yeah.
We have 4 content creators, photo editors, VFX sound engineers, drone pilots, cinematographer, everything in the house. So we create and curate content. My partner's sitting right across over there. She's a certified coach,
Yep.
crushing it. So she's an actual business consulting coach, but multiple businesses to over $10 million. So and myself, community builder, Instagram and social media expert, but with an expertise really in personal branding. So I come in, and together you have everything. It's like a one-stop shop,
Mhm. Yeah. So
And
that's
there's not 2 clients that do the same, that want the same thing. Not 2 clients have the same budget. Not 2 clients have the same even spend or anything. It's
so you
just,
can help anybody.
I just like to bring solutions to the
Mhm.
table. There's a lot of problems, a lot of companies, a lot of people in this game also say, oh, I'll grow you. Yeah, I'll bring it. That's your problem. You're doing this and this wrong. Okay, show me what I'm doing. Show me how to do it.
Yeah.
So if you ask me, I don't even think I'm a consultant. I think I'm a facilitator.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So what's a facilitator? A facilitator is someone who not only shows you what needs to be done, but will teach you how to do it. So that's what I like to do, is I'll show you, like, let's say we talk about the top comment strategy, because you featured me on that. So they're
Yeah.
going to, we can get to that too. That'll be pretty funny. But just quickly, people tell you, okay, that's the top comment strategy. No, I'm going to show you what to do and how to do
And why? Yeah.
and why. And why is very important. So I'd rather teach than just, oh, here, show. So we really take care of our clients. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So like I run like a similar business to yours, but at a way lower scale, obviously. And a big thing that I struggle with is like I probably the more the fear of unknown of scaling the business and bringing on more people and having like so much more. I don't know if the word's accountability or what the proper term would be.
Overhead.
Yeah, that's probably the most appropriate term. How did you go about taking those next steps to really bring your business to the next level of where you had saw it going?
I mean, it's a lot of work.
Mm,
It's a very, even now when you ask me that, it's such a tough question to answer. It's scary, and I've always run a business with absolutely no overhead or very little.
yeah.
So it was always remote. The last 3 years I spent traveling around. I don't even know. I must have been on like last year just like 200 flights. It's crazy. Yeah, yeah, it was wild. It's not the best thing, by the way. I don't recommend it to you guys watching this. It's useless, a waste of time and money. But it's just like traveling around, and it's just like I try to do it as little overhead as possible, but I try to take everything on myself. And this is where I realized that there's only so much you can do yourself, and you're not gonna be able to scale that up,
Mm,
right? So how many clients can Farouk, one person, just take on? How many people can I just do? And also, how many offerings can I do, right? So the way I saw it is you want to surround yourself with the right team members, the right people who are going to be able to do the work when you delegate to them on time and well. So to your standards. So you have to set the standards that you want, like where you want them to be,
mm.
and you have to also help them get up there as well. Because not everyone just understands or works a certain way. So it's tough. It's a tough question. The way to scale up is also you want to be the best. You want to yourself be like a don't want to be just a teacher. You want to be the person like applying it every single day. So
Mm.
every single day, I'm out there on Instagram all the time looking for new ways to grow. We're looking for new things to do. I'm out there just trying to close the clients. I'm the one who goes out there and tries to find the people to work with, because truth truth is they come for me, right? Because I built
Absolutely.
the platform. But you want to have the people in the back end, they're your backbone, they're your rock. Like they have to be just as good. They have to be able to deliver to the amount that you speak, you
Okay.
know? So
Yeah,
I
no,
think it's really finding these people and trusting them, because delegating is my biggest flaw.
yeah, yeah.
I have a very hard time delegating work, and I've burnt out more than once,
Mm.
just not being able or capable to do so. And I can understand and recognize my issue. Even 3 weeks ago, I was like, damn, like I'm still taking this and that, and it's not allowing me to grow the business because I'm not delegating right, because I'm scared. Right? I'm like, oh, what if it doesn't happen? But you got to trust yourself and trust the people around you
Okay.
and let them do it.
Yeah, yeah. No, I really like that. And I know it's a very difficult question to answer because there's no one right answer for that. But what I would say is another question I would have building off that is how did you pick what was the first need that you had to scale to that next level? Like, how did you pick, like, I need a graphic designer or I need a copywriter, or like, how did you make that decision?
I mean, it's things just come obvious to you. Because when you have a client and then you realize that you're putting money off the table by saying
Mm.
no,
Okay.
you realize that you need it. Like, oh, can you do this? No, but I know someone. Oh, fuck, I just missed out on 5 grand.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
oh, do you have this? Oh, no, I don't have this. So it's you realize like, but you don't need much. That's the thing. Also, people need to understand. You don't need a 200-person office.
No, no,
Look
no.
at what COVID did.
Yes.
This pandemic has every media company get rid of most of their employees.
Mm.
The stat is scary. The stat is scary. I was reading yesterday in New York. I think 1/3 of New York's small businesses are not surviving the pandemic. They're going to be shut down. A
Jeez.
third.
That's a lot.
It's a lot, but that's in everywhere. It's everywhere. It's happening all over the place. It's tough. It's sad. So you don't want to have crazy overhead either. I mean, if you can just like set up like partnerships with other people, with the right people that you trust and you believe in, and they can do the work for your clients, you're better off doing that. For the last 5 years, that's what I did.
Yeah.
Like I had in-house people to help me with certain things, but they were not necessarily in-house where they were with me. It was always remote. Like this pandemic didn't hurt me at all,
Mm.
because I was always working pandemic mode.
Yeah. You're a
You know what I
pandemic.
mean?
Yeah.
Not knowing, not I wasn't saying, oh, there's gonna be a pandemic. I'm not a genius like that, but it was always like I'm saying, like I was always like COVID didn't like shift my life that
Mm.
much. But aside from the fact that I couldn't travel anymore, it really just things just kept going the same way as they always have.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that makes a ton of sense. And so another question I have is that given the influence that you've built for yourself, you're able to get a hold of like a very influential people, a ton of people that are very, very skilled and talented. And there's one particular person I want to ask you about, but like, how did you get that ball rolling in terms of building your network with all of these like high profile people?
So that's a great question. I think that the thing that my first goal when I started building Good Life on Instagram was the network, was never money.
Mm,
Is because I always wanted to use my social media as a way to get to the people to the next level. Because I always knew that the network, like, yeah, you know that quote, that
network
candy
is your
quote,
net
your
worth.
network is net worth. Yeah, I hate that quote, but it's true. It's just because people overuse it and
Mm,
abuse it, right? Because no, it's not just that. Your network is so much more than a network, right? Because if you don't use it right, if you don't even know who to network with and how to use that network, then your network is just a phone contact list. Yeah,
yeah,
okay,
yeah.
yellow pages, hello. Like so it's just like how would I go about it is just as I grew a larger amount of followers, I started to reach out to certain people in a certain way and always bringing something to the table. Like I don't believe in like not bringing something to the table. It's just how I function.
Mm,
So how I got to people is I would never reach out to them unless I knew that I would bring a solution to their problem.
okay.
And that's what stood me apart from most of the people. Because a lot of people are takers. Believe it or not, and I'm sure you believe it, I'm sure everybody watching this knows, a lot of people in this world are takers, not givers. So first you gotta learn to be a giver. And you gotta give for the right reasons. When I come and I genuinely want to give to you, let's say, okay, I wanna be on here, I wanna do this, I want to. I don't say, oh, I wanna be on Ben's podcast because of how much things it's gonna get to me. No, that's cool. I'm happy if this brings me traffic. I'm happy if it's grateful if it brings me business. If it doesn't, whatever. I'm
Mm,
happy to be here genuinely. So it was the same thing for everywhere and everyone I came to. Is like, hey, let me bring this to you. Just like how I started my business, let me give to you because I know I'm gonna get back tenfold. And if you don't, whatever, I'll give to the next person. Because if you give to 10 people, the right 10 people, if one of them gives back to you, there's your return on investment. Your investment is your time. And time is a very valuable and important investment. The most important, if you ask me, more than money. So that's how I always went on about it. To, for networking is just, but also the fact that I built the page, I give them something that they wanted and needed
mm.
because I reverse engineered it. Today, everyone's trying to grow followers when they have, let's say, they have a product. Now they want to grow followers. I said, I'm going to grow followers first.
And then the product.
I'm going to let people make money. A lot of my friends are way richer and more successful than I am. And that's perfectly fine because they have had products for a long time. But that's okay because when I want to launch something,
Mm,
I know that I
you're
have
ready to go.
something to fall back on. And at the same time, I want it to be that person that everybody needs. Now, if you want advertising in luxury space and Instagram, I'm one of the top guys out there.
Yeah.
It's easier because I can leverage that to get clients, to speak to celebrities, to get to the right people for business. And I've met all of my mentors that way.
Mm,
All of my mentors were met that way. I met Andy Frisella like that. We became great friends today. And I'm proud to call him a friend and a big brother. And that was all through social media because I answered a problem with a solution for him or for other people.
yeah. No, I love that value piece there. But one question that I would have building off that, because I get this all the time, is people, I think a lot of people suffer from like an inferiority complex where like they feel
Yes.
like they can't provide value. So how did you go about solving that for yourself and actually figuring out a point where you could provide value? Because so many people that we would be referring to, and some people you just mentioned, like an outsider would think like, how could I possibly provide them value? So how did you go about handling that?
This is tough. And this is the hardest thing in the world for any human being on this planet is finding your why.
Mm,
So the same thing yesterday, I was talking about this for a brand perspective. It was like for a brand, first find your why, and then how are you going to convey that message to sell your product. But for a person now, like on a personal development standpoint, for you to even understand what value you can bring to the table, you have to understand who you are, what's your worth, and what you bring to the table, right? So you have to know your why. Why are you doing what you're doing, and what can you bring in order to make things better, make this planet a better place, for example, because that's the solution you bring to the problem. So it's just it's tough. I mean, it takes a lot of self-reflection. It takes a lot of understanding what you really want to do in life and what you want to bring. And if you don't, and I don't want people to stress out just listening to me, it's fine. Not everybody has to be a problem solver. Not everybody has to be an entrepreneur. Not everybody has to network, and a lot of people get shy and anxious.
mm,
I'm lucky and I feel blessed that I was always very outgoing. So I'm like introverted extrovert.
Okay.
Because I'm very closed up and my circle is very tight, and my business, I keep it very shut, very quiet. But I like doing these things like this right now because I like to deliver value and create an impact. You
Mm.
understand? So
Yep.
that's the extroverted part. So it's just I guess for someone to get started and how they can bring value is, what are you good at? What do you enjoy? Like, even if it's video games, like your value right now is this podcast that you have in your YouTube channel, right? Like you come to, next example, you come to someone and say, hey, like I might not have like 1 million followers on Instagram, but I have a YouTube channel and my podcast is pretty popular.
Mm.
You want to get on them? Like, hell yeah, let's do it. That's your value. But someone else's value might be that they're good at drawing and then they can design something, or they're good at sound engineering. They can make a sound. It can be anything. It can be them just holding a camera in front of you and filming you. It can be
Yeah.
anything.
Okay.
You just got to figure out something you're good at and just become good at that craft and use that craft in order to get to places.
Yeah, I love that, and become secure in it. That's awesome. So one of the people that I alluded to earlier that you met is Gary Vee. So how did that come to be? Like, how did you get to chill with Gary?
That's funny. So with Gary, how did we come to that? Oh yes. So I I found emails in March 2015. I used to do shout outs for Gary Vee on my pages.
Really?
He had 30,000 followers on Instagram.
Damn. That's
Yeah. He was just getting started on IG. And it's funny because his content were like not even photos of him with quotes on top of them. That's
Yeah.
how they used to, like, that's what even he used to post. And then it was photos of him with quotes, like the typical text post. So I met the team in 2015 when I started doing ads for them, and I did quite a couple rounds. I'm not saying it was just me. It's just saying I was one of their vendors, I guess,
Yep.
for advertising, shout outs, like straight influencer marketing. And then I became good friends with the team. And then I met my buddy Elliot on people know him as Elliot on Instagram actually. And he was doing a lot of personal branding and growth for Gary Vee. I think he's responsible for a lot of his growth.
Yeah, that's what I
And
had
one
heard.
day, yeah, a lot of it, like from 500K to like 2 million followers, something like that. Like, but the big part of it, because he
Mhm.
was like a genius, right, with that stuff. And then one day in 2017, when I lived in Italy, at the end of 2016, sorry, I was like, hey, how would you like to meet Gary? And me, I always liked Gary because I thought he was doing it right. Like, not from a fanboy type point of view, more of like on the business standpoint. I was like, you know what, this dude's doing it right. Like, he's the first like entrepreneur celebrity, right? Trying to like get big. And I was like, hell, you know what? Like, I'm really down to meet Gary. Like, it'll be really fun. He's like, okay. They put an appointment for January 2017, and I was coming back home anyways. I was back home in Montreal, and I was in New York's just like an hour flight, right? So I went and I sat with him for it was a 15-minute meeting. So I literally flew to New York just for a 15-minute meeting, and I get there and we're just talking whatever, and it's through Elliot because Elliot wanted to make it happen, and Gary was interested in like he was always interested, and he always is learning, like meeting people like me who are like responsible for growth or big in a certain platform or community, because I guess he heard of me or Elliot talked about me or something like that. I don't want to hype myself up. Just something happened there.
Yep.
So he saw value. Again, he saw value. And then he goes, hey, can you stay for the whole hour? I like this. And I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, I can. Of course I can. You know? So we start talking, blah, blah, blah. So I'm seeing what we can do. And that's really how I met. I have the whole video of the meeting because D-Rock was out there just meeting, filming, and I never posted it anywhere, and I don't want to post it anywhere. I have the whole video of what happened, what was said during this meeting. It was great. I even got the opportunity to work with them, got offered the opportunity and the chance to work with Gary in New York for 6 months. It was just not in a position and in a place where I was just then. So, but obviously we didn't go for it. But it was great to meet Gary and the team, and I became very, very tight with D-Rock, Andy Kranak, Tyler, and all these guys. Like, they're my homies. Like, D-Rock's like my brother. So that's how I got to meet Gary, and it was pretty cool. And yeah, ever since, just whenever they need something or whatever, it's just coincidence. Like, I told Zane the other day, hey, like, get me on that tea with Gary Vee if you can. I'd love to talk about commenting on Instagram, because I thought it's a cool topic, and they got me on right away and got on. We did a video that was during COVID, like
Yeah, I
peak
saw
COVID,
that.
like March, April.
Mhm.
And they got 1 million views on his page. So that was pretty cool. So yeah, that's how I got to him. It's literally just, again, the value that what I built for myself and the value I could bring to him,
Mhm.
and then we just ended up like, we just ended up just like kicking it off
Vibing.
and just talking and stuff. Yeah, it was cool.
That's awesome, man. I guess that speaks to the power of social and Instagram specifically. So I want to try to pivot now towards the state of Instagram and like community building, which you coined, and growth in general. So like, is it, in your opinion, do you feel, for someone listening to this, because I get this question all the time, is it too late to start Instagram?
No, it's never too late.
Yeah.
It's never too late, right? Look, why would it be too late? Right now, yesterday they launched Reels to everybody 2 days
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
Another new tool. Capitalize on it. Post 20 times a day if you have to. You feel me? So it's never too late. Instagram is a powerhouse.
Yeah.
It's not going anywhere. Instagram, as a matter of fact, is only going to get bigger because Instagram, to me, today has become a hub for platforms. You go on Instagram, you see tweets, TikToks, a LinkedIn post, Facebook post, IG posts. You see everything. Stories, lives, reels, IGTV. There's so many different things to Instagram. It's always going to be there. It's people's favorite platform.
Mhm.
Even people who say they don't like Instagram, they like Instagram.
Yeah,
Like
that's
I'm
fair.
telling you, like, you know, of course, Twitter like is cool, be good little tweets, but you can
Different
only do so
purpose.
much.
Hmm.
You know, Eh, TikTok, whatever, it's cool, but like, you get tired of it quick, or it's fun. Like it again, they're all great. You have to be present on all platforms. So I'm just saying, Instagram is still there and it's still gonna be there for a long time. But then now to answer your questions regarding growth specifically, if it's too late, of course it's later than when I started, but it's not too late. I mean, you can still do it. You can still, you can still create good content. You just have to be much more creative because now instead of competing with 100 million people, you're competing with 1.2 billion people,
Yeah.
right? So you're competing with that many people. Every niche you're going to is going to be saturated. Everywhere, everything you try to do, someone else has done it before, no matter what it is. So you got to do it better, and you got to just be the most consistent people out there. You just got to, now it's like, that's why now it's like slower growth. If you want to
100%.
build an authentic following, it's much slower. But this is when people like I'm going around in different podcasts. I'm making posts. I'm asking people, chill, slow down. Don't just see, yeah, Farouk has 250,000 followers. He has 1.6 million good life. Oh, I need to have that ASAP. Chill, take your time, grow your audience, and do your thing, because it's gonna happen. Just capitalize on the right thing, do your research, and be consistent. Even if you have 1,000 followers for a month, you have 1,000 followers for 3 months, you gotta keep going, keep fueling that machine, right? Just like a car. You don't put gas in a car, it stops running. It's not like, oh, 1 week I'm gonna post 3 times, one day I'm not gonna post for a month. You gotta keep going. Like
Yeah.
yesterday, Reels came out. I posted 7 Reels on Good Life in 12 hours.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't
I saw
care.
those.
Like a friend of mine said, how many times should we be posting? I said, you have a theme page? I said, yeah. I'm like, every
There's
hour.
too many. Yeah. There
So what
isn't.
are you gonna do?
Yeah.
It's not a personal brand, so it's different. But even I made Sonia the team. I said, hey, edit the reels for Sonia, post the reels. Let's go. And myself, I posted the reels and a quote. Like it's just fuel the machine. You're gonna grow eventually.
I like that. I like that. I love the analogy you used of the gas in the car. I really love that. I think that's powerful. And you spoke to a lot of the incorrect views that people have when it comes to Instagram. One being like the lack of patience. But like, I get asked so many times about like, or not even asked, people just complaining about the algorithm and complaining about them not growing.
Yeah,
So
people love
what
to
do you
complain.
think are like the primary reasons of why they're complaining, and what would your advice be to those people? Because they've already heard mine, so I would love to hear your take.
Um, First of all, people love to complain. Is those people that will often not grow and
Yes.
not build something on the platform. And I'm sorry to be so harsh, but fuck, it's true. Like if you're complaining about it, then don't even get into it.
Mhm.
And you'll never see me complain about the algorithm. Say, oh, the algorithm changed. Oh, they're blocking my reach. Yeah, we know. Be grateful that you're even given a free platform to grow business on.
That's my
Like I
mentality
owe
too.
my life to Instagram.
Yeah.
Like literally. Like my bread and butter when I started my business was Instagram. So I've seen it change. Yes, they took away chronological feed. Yes, it sucks that I'm getting 1% engagement on paid. But you know what? Sometimes, yesterday on Good Life, I got 10% engagement.
Damn.
There's always a way around it. The algorithm, right? What's an algorithm? It's computer made. It's a science. It's mathematics. It's a chain of like numbers. Look, I'm not a tech guy, so I don't want to speak about the algorithm because I don't know. I like to speak about things that I know, right? So it's just there's always a way to game it. Look at those TikTokers. TikTok came out, people blew up on TikTok.
Mhm.
So maybe go grow on TikTok and then redirect them to Instagram. I don't know, but there's always a way. This is a game. Social media is a game, right? The algorithm is a game. It's like chess. You find a way to beat your opponent, right? So it's the same thing. There's always a way. And the people who complain with the algorithm, they It's okay. It's not for everyone, but if you're really down to grow and to build, just keep going, follow the right people, do the right research, pay the right people, worst case, to learn. It's
Yeah.
okay. Like, I tell people that, and I'm not trying to, and I don't need more business. I'm just saying, like, if you need to pay someone to grow and to help you, or the right people, do it, because you don't have to know everything yourself. You don't have to do everything yourself. Look, I love Facebook ads. I'm fascinated by Facebook ads, and I see people, and I know it makes a lot of money for people. At some point, I wanted to go learn it, but I'm like, wait, I have to build a business. I might as well pay the best people to do it for me.
Yeah.
It's okay. You don't have to know everything. You don't have to be the best at everything either. Stick to what you're good at and surround yourself with the best people in every category and niche. So to the people saying, yeah, the algorithm's not helping me grow, yes, I hear you. Yes, it's true. Yes, it's true. However, I'm sure there's ways around it. I mean, I turned my page around from 100K to 250,000 followers in 4 months during COVID, from 1,000 like average to 10,000 likes, from 20, 50 comments to like 400 comments. Even Good Life is growing. And for 3 years, I was losing followers. Not because it's fake, not because it's bots, not because I'm not posting. It's because that's how it was. I was losing. Next thing you know, we start posting better content, different times, more often. Oh, the page is growing again. Organically, I'm not pushing it. I gained 10,000 followers this week. And literally 10,000 followers. And it's not because I eat something different. I drink the same water as everyone, actually. But, it's just, I'm constantly giving it a shot. I'm 6 years into this business, and I'm still relevant.
Yeah.
Meaning Farouk, but also my pages are still out there. Why? Because I'm consistent, and I don't give up just because a platform is changing. I've seen a lot of influencers come and go, a lot of media companies come and go, a lot of people come and go. It's just, but the people are still there and still on top of what they're doing. And there's a lot of us. It's not just me. There's thousands of us, out of billions though. But they're people who just always try to game it.
No, I like that a lot. So I think the grit that you mentioned there is definitely one of the key factors. But you're also, like, you're one of the people who are always staying on top of like the latest like tactics, strategies, whatever term you want to use to continue to grow. So how do you, or how could someone constantly be doing the right things at the right time?
That's tough. It's tough. It's just like this on a basketball field. There's better players than others, right?
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, it's by educating, and it's by practicing. So first, educate yourself, follow the right people, follow the right news, look at the right things. And again, if you need to pay the right people, pay the right people. So that's off of the table. And then the other thing that I said was practicing. I mean, I'm a practitioner. I do it. I post. I try. Reels came out. I posted 3 reels in 2 minutes, I think. Bam, bam, bam. They all got over 300,000 views. Okay, it hit now. I know I can do it. If it would have failed, I would have done it differently. It's just try things. It's by being a practitioner, by studying the platform, by posting. Don't be scared. High quality, low quality. This post, that post, video, carousel. IGTV. This on every platform they have their own like tools. I'm referring to Instagram again because it's my favorite. It's the one that you speak to the most as well. But it's just you're giving tools. Try them. Use them. A niche works, doesn't work. Just try.
Right.
Practice. It's again going back to your first question. What does sports teach me? To practice.
Yeah.
It doesn't hit like that. It'll hit like this. Like, so it's just like gotta keep going.
So I think a lot of the big questions that I get all the time as well is like, I don't know what to post, or what I post doesn't work, and that's enough for them to get discouraged to stop trying. So to those people, like, what would you say to them?
I don't know what to post, and when I post it flops, it's just, first of all, don't worry about. Actually, the first thing I'm gonna say to them is, nobody cares about the likes and the followers. Stop caring about likes and followers. It doesn't matter. That'll come when it comes, and if it doesn't come, it doesn't come. If it comes, it comes. You feel me? Just keep posting. If one post doesn't work, you're gonna stop your career. You're gonna stop. Okay, you shot once in the soccer field. You shot the goal, stopped it. You hit the crossbar. You're gonna stop. No, you're gonna shoot until you score. So keep going. And of course, if there's a thing with working hard and working smart. Don't go working hard like crazy, and if it's not working, just putting your head down and not realizing that you're not working smart. So let's say 10, 12, 15 posts don't work, then maybe change the way you're posting. Maybe change your ways. Try to find something different. At some point, Ben, people have to trust their instincts, but they also have to stop trying to seek answers into other people.
Okay.
You know, you can only listen to me so much. Like me today, I'm really putting it out there and giving people the real side of things, like the insights, like what to do and things. But even me, there's only so much, even if you pay me as consultant, there's only so much I can go and teach you, because if you don't go and do it yourself, you're never going to work. So that's why I tell my clients, the first thing I tell my clients is, I can help you build your community as much as you want. But if you're not putting the work in the back end, if you're not producing and posting good content, it's not going to work. So I think it's really like, for the people, it's just really, don't get discouraged. That's the number one thing, is don't get discouraged. It's okay. It's okay. And also, the comparability aspect of social media hurts people. And I think looking at people's engagement hurts people, which is why they remove likes. But it's ironic, because Instagram, they tore people's mental health apart with likes and followers. Now they're removing the likes, so they for their conscience, right? Okay. But I think that, take care of your mental health here. It's very important. It's not even funny. It's like a very important topic. And it's like, be careful and just stop looking at other people. Stop comparing yourself to Ben, to Farouk, to this person, to Kim Kardashian, to Kanye West, whatever they're doing. Like, just be yourself undeniably, be yourself authentically, and be genuine, and just do your thing. It's okay. You know what? And I say that on every single interview I'm on. And it's like, you don't need 1 million followers. Maybe 10,000 followers is enough for you locally to build the business you're trying to build.
Yeah, true.
Right? Now, how many subscribers do you have right now?
We're at like 46 in a bit. 46,000.
46,000, right?
Yeah.
But of course, you want to have 1 million. If I say, oh, would you like to have 1 million? You'll say yes.
Yeah.
But do you need 1 million to do what you're doing?
No.
Or even to make $1? No. Oh, by the way, it's 1111. Angel numbers. Good luck. Make a wish.
Make a wish, everybody. That's awesome. I love that. So, like you've mentioned value time and again. And I follow you, and you provide a ton of value on your platform. And that's actually, like, I was aware of the top comment strategy, but not to the point of like the true application in the return that you can get from doing it. So when I made that video, like, I put you in there, and I featured you.
That was funny.
And I had actually been trying to get a hold of you before, but obviously, like, I didn't know the amount of DMs that I even receive. I can only imagine how many that you receive. So obviously, like, I couldn't get your attention. So I figured, like, this is maybe a way that I could provide Farouk some value. And then maybe, because I figured it would get like over 50,000 views, I figured it'd be around there. I'm like, there's gonna be enough of those people that go speak to him, and then maybe he'll be like, okay, I'm gonna talk to this Ben guy, right? So that then does this conversation.
Literally what happened.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, Ben what? Ben who? What?
Exactly. So it worked. So, but I think that's another testament to exactly what you said before, is that the value is going to be completely unique to you, which in my case was, you actually like emphasize something to me. All I did was use my platform to say, like, go check out this guy. This is where I really learned the importance of doing that. So that's, again, just another point for anybody listening to this. Farouk knows what he's talking about, 1, and 2, do it and seek out unique to you. So, but I would also love to hear you break down the top comment strategy from the top comment god himself. Like, I want to hear it from now.
The CEO of commenting on Instagram.
That's
of course.
Man. That's it. I want to hear it from you.
First strategy is literally turn your post notifications on. So here's what I did. Okay, and full disclaimer, it totally helps the fact that I'm verified.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, full disclosure, I'm not going to go and lie to you and tell you can just do it like that, because that's a lie.
But I will say,
verified.
Even though I'm not verified, and oftentimes I'll still get a ton of likes.
So we'll get to that. So the verification helps-ish. People think it's just half of the work.
Mm-hmm.
The page follows you helps as well, right? So obviously puberty memes are following you, but not anymore that much, because Instagram caught on to it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all these verified and stuff like that. And a lot of people actually lost their badges. So I think the best for someone who's watching this right now, okay, to get the top comments on any page that they want, okay? You don't have to attack a 20 million follower page, by the way. It can be smaller pages. You're better off attacking smaller pages, right? 500,000, 100,000, maybe 1 million, 2 million followers, whatever. So turn your post notifications on. First step. Follow the page, turn your post notifications on. Then you want to drop the comment in the first minutes, or for me, seconds. I call myself the fastest commenter. Like, I just go back, drop a comment. So people tell me, oh, you have no life. How much time you spend on that? I'm like, bro, 10 seconds. you
Yeah,
know.
it's
But
quick.
it literally, so it's be quick, but then you have to be witty and smart about it. It's like, oh, fire, cool post. No, that doesn't work. You gotta bring something to the post. So I was talking with Gary about that. If I'm gonna post on Gary Vee's thing, or if it's on, let's say on the meme page, something deep, I'm gonna bring value to people. I'm gonna bring something or different insight. If it's a joke, maybe I'll add to the joke. So you don't have to just be valuable in terms of inspirational. You can be fun, witty, sarcastic. Like some dudes, like some commenters. What's his name? Damn, I forgot his name. Anyways, he makes super funny comments about his wife and his that this not like it's an invented wife. But it's hilarious. And you have the Slim Jim people who are
Yeah,
crushing
yeah,
the top
they kill
comment.
that.
Yeah, they kill that, and they were funny, but they were not like. So it's just it's add your own twist to it. Just be you, and then maybe be quick and add to it. And people will catch on to it because you got to see. And the way I approach that, and I approach it from a different, I feel, vision than anybody ever has. That's why I wasn't the first to do it, but I definitely consider myself to be one of the best to have ever done it because I did it on Good Life 3 years ago. So by the way, people thinking I'm new to this shit, I done it. I grew 100,000 followers in 1 month on Good Life, okay, and like 3 years ago, and I got documented everything just doing the top comment strategy. Just on my personal, I just did it recently because I just started caring about my personal page again. So it's just you gotta be fast, bring something, and you gotta be consistent with it. Again, consistency comes back, bro. Some of my friends called me the most consistent man on Instagram because I was posting 50 comments a day.
I'd agree with that. Yeah, of
Like I was just going at it, but now I'm slowing down because I have business to build. I'm doing this. So sometimes I miss the notification. I'm
course.
tired, whatever. But for someone who's just sitting on their phones, and even every client of mine, I literally give them a task. I promise you, when I give them homework, I tell them, I want you to drop 5 comments per day, 3 comments per day. Then we'll ramp it up. But it's really about being quick, witty, and on it consistently. Because then people start seeing you a lot. And going back to my point, I was saying I see it from a different perspective as everyone. Every comment section, so not page, every comment section, so every post is a different organism. It's a living, breathing organism of people, right? Kind of like Reddit or whatever. There's a thread going on. People go on now that the top comment thing is like a mainstream thing. People go on the page, the post, to read comments. Literally. So I'm seeing all these people, and I went big on the CEO of commenting on Instagram thing. I get results from a ton of people saying, hey, thank you, because you made it mainstream, whatever. And now I'm doing it. And I'm seeing results. I'm seeing traffic. Like a lot of people are not verified. You only have like 300 followers. So don't think that you can't start today if you're seeing this at home. Do it, please. It's just seeing traffic. It's okay if you don't see a lot of followers. You see a lot of traffic because then you want to convert them to followers. Make sure your content's good because they have to want to follow you.
Of
Bring
course.
something.
Yeah, the strategy itself is kind of like a microcosm of Instagram as a whole. It kind of just reiterates and doubles down on everything that you said previous.
Social media is meant to be social.
Yeah,
We lost that social aspect in the last couple of years. Okay, it became super anti-social. Actually, social
vanity.
media was anti-social.
Yeah,
Social media is trying to become social again. Make it social. Take it upon you. I answer every single comment on every single post of mine. I don't have to do it. I have business to run, but I spend an hour a day, sometimes 2 hours, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna do it, and people like it. That's what makes me different than people. And also on my top comments, I go back sometimes and I reply to people.
mhm.
Sometimes you know what I do when I'm in a certain mood? If someone diss me, I'll just clap back, and people love it as a joke. To me, it's all jokes. There's no negativity, no bad vibes. It's just fun and
Yeah,
games.
yeah,
But people like it.
yeah. No, that's awesome, man. And you heard it here first. Go make social media social again. Farouk says so.
Mm-hmm.
So go do it. So in
You can make
addition,
a hat.
you
Make social
should.
media social again.
You should totally make that hat, bro. I'll rock it too. And then, so one question I would have building off that is, so in addition to the top comment strategy, is there any other, because people are constantly looking for the latest and greatest growth opportunity and growth hack. People love that word. People love that word. Like, is there anything
Love it.
else that you do or that you could, another nugget that you could share with people watching this?
Just be active. Reels, reels, reels. The reels came out. I've been screaming reels at the office. I literally go out and go, hey guys,
Reels.
reels. Like reels. I mean, look, bro. And as of actually yesterday, Trump signed that it's effective in 45 days.
TikTok.
You're not going to be able to have monetary transactions or whatever. Anyways, whatever he announced. But TikTok's coming down. Maybe reels going to have more traffic. But it's just, you know, it's just use the tools that are given to you. I've said it all here. There's no growth. There's the secret. You want to know the secret though? You want to know the secret? Should I give it to your audience? The secret is that there's no secret.
You
Boom,
spilled it.
cut. We're out. Bye.
That's a wrap.
No, it's literally though. Literally, the secret is no secret. Stop looking to people. There's only so many Ben Leave It fucking videos that you can watch. You know, then you gotta go and do it yourself. There's only you can follow me. There's only so many stories you can watch of me. So and I think we've said it, there's not another. You won't be able to bring another like growth hacker like they call it on Instagram right now after me. He's just gonna repeat the same things. And if he's what else is he gonna talk about? We put it all out there. You know. Yeah. So just use the tools. Reels came out 2 days ago. Post a bunch of reels. I went on my stories yesterday. I said, if you're not using reels, you're crazy. I said that word for word. What do you think I'm going to do out of this podcast once you post it? I'm going to have my guy make a few 15-second videos for reels.
Yeah.
Of course.
Why not? No,
you know what I mean? Like, that's just how it is. Just use the tools that are given to you. When someone tells you the top comment stuff's working now, don't wait a month because it might change. Again, algorithm. The Instagram loves to cut reach. They love to do that. But that's how they play their game. They want to take your money. So you gotta keep going. Just try new things. Be different. Please be different. It's really all on you.
Love that, man. Yeah. Cutting through the bullshit and being honest there. I love that. So now we're going to get back to a little bit of Farouk stuff here. So I know this is going to be a very difficult question to answer, especially for what you do and how quickly things change and move. But if everything goes your way, what does your life look like say 2 or 3 years from now? I usually say 5 or 10, but that's too far for you. So like 2 or 3, what does your world look like?
I like that you just said that because I don't even know what I'm eating tomorrow, this afternoon. So when you tell me like what your life looks like in 5 years, I'm like, whoa, wait, chill. Yeah. But 2 to 3 years, I mean, look, it also depends on what's going on in the world. Look, we don't know if we're going through a second wave, another quarantine and everything. Like right now we're in very weird and awkward times as well. So I do see myself here. I'm back home building in Montreal. We have a nice office space, nice team that we keep adding on to. And we're doing our thing. So in 2-3 years, I mean, look, I still see myself running my businesses. I mean, I just don't just have my media company, a lot of side hustles. I'm trying to learn new things at all times because I'm an actual entrepreneur. I can't just do one thing at a time, but I definitely see myself reaching a certain level of success, and I have a certain vision for myself, of course, for my personal, professional, private lives, like everything. So I still see myself doing what I do, but really teach more and create a bigger impact. Because when I started this, like, and I'm being honest, it's not me trying to grow a speech on you and try to be cheesy and stuff, but I've always done this for impact. I have a goal. I have a certain number of people that I wish to impact and to help in the world, and I'm going to keep doing that. And right now, I'm rebranding myself to be more of a teacher rather than anything else. I don't want to be a guru. I don't want to be a coach. I don't want to be a this and that. I just want to be really a teacher, and I want to help people as much as I can, all while building my own business because everybody's got to eat, right? So it's just I want to keep going on the same path, but keep unlocking levels to this game of life. I'm functioning with very high energy in the last couple months, bigger energy than I've ever seen. I'm very careful about it, and I just want to guard myself, protect myself, my mental health as well as my physical health, and in order to help as many people as I can and help them grow with me. So that's really my goal. I want to build my business even more. I want to do certain numbers. I could tell you, I want to be worth like $25 million, but this is not how it works. There's no destination here, so it's just like, I see myself growing, bro. I see myself being a better man than I am today, for sure, every day.
That's awesome. So the journey is the destination, essentially.
Yeah, because there's not like, oh, I'll reach one spot and then I'll stop, because the truth is you want to go even more. So 100%. It's just unlocking new levels to this life. It was Kevin Hart speaking about this on Joe Rogan podcast, and it opened my eyes. It was back in May. He was like, hey, life is a game and there's levels that you unlock, even if it's little things. And as long as you, and I like to say, but as long as you move the needle every single day, I think this is what matters the most.
Yeah.
Just every day, even if it's a little thing. Like, guys, like, you don't need to do a big thing to move the needle. Sometimes, even for certain people, just going to the gym is moving the needle for themselves. But make sure that you're always taking care of yourself. And mental health is super important. And in social media, aside from discipline, something we don't talk about is mental health. So it's just like, be careful. We talk about it, but quickly. May is mental health month. Hoorah. But like, what? The other 11 months of your people are not depressed. So it's just like So just like, make sure you take care of your mental health, because social media, like, because everyone watching this is interested in social media. Everyone
Mm.
watching this, and if you've made it this far into this, 'cause it's pretty long, it means you're really interested in pursuing this as a career. Sorry, it's better my French, but
You're good.
you're really interested into this. And it's just like, make sure you don't burn out. Make sure you take care of mental, physical, personal, mental health, and then push. It's very
Love it, man.
important.
Love it. Okay, real quick. What is the best piece of advice that you've ever been given, and why was it so impactful?
Love this question because I already know the answer. There's
Awesome.
only one piece. My mentor, Steven, back in the days when I started my business, when I started, I was telling you I went from a $50 offer to a $1,000 offer. He said, be the person everybody wants to work with. Be the person everybody wants to work with.
Okay.
It's very deep. Why? Because I used to get angry and pissed when someone was trying to lowball me or do this. Like, oh, I won't tell you. He was like, why? Be cool. Take the deal. A dollar's a dollar. Go grind. Respect yourself. Know your worth and your value, but be kind. Even if you want to decline business, say no, but be kind. Be respectable, because you don't know how far down the line you're going to meet them again. That's why I'm still around 6 years later, because I've never burnt a bridge.
Mm.
If anything, people burnt bridges with me. So it's like, be the person everyone wants to work with, in terms that be a good person. I mean, especially in 2020, like, fuck, like with everything going on, so many bad people out there as well. Just very few people that are good, like good, kind-hearted individuals. Be one of them. You don't need to add on to the bullshit. Just be the person everyone wants to work with. Is the most important thing any young entrepreneur needs to hear, because everybody's trying to sell you on that hustle point. Hustle, hustle, hustle. Be happy. Okay, we get it. Be happy, hustle, take care of your mental health. I already touched on that. But be someone everyone wants to work with, because that's where you're going to make your true dollars. On top of being an expert, there's a lot of experts, a lot of people doing the same thing. Every industry is saturated. But if you're the person that delivers out of the kind heart, you're going to be picked over someone better than you that just is an asshole.
Love that. Love that. So that actually, real quick again, that led me to another question that I forgot that I had. Was a period of time when you were Instagram Batman. Can you can you tell us about that story a bit and what that was all about?
The Insta Batman. Oh my God. Okay. I didn't know you were going to. That's hilarious, bro. That's a good question. I could keep going on with you. It's pretty fun. It's the Instagram Batman. Oh, man, that was funny. So I don't remember the date. It was like a year and a half ago, right? Something like
Yeah,
that.
it was right on then.
I mean, I could go check real quick, but it was around. It's on my IGTV, guys, if you're watching. But it was. I'll tell you now, actually. The Insta, yeah, see, the Insta Batman. Oh God, that was funny. It was. When's the date? I don't. How do you see the date on IGTV? Sorry, it was April 22nd, 2019. So it's over a year ago. A lot of scammers in this game, a lot of fakes, a lot of people that hurt others, and it wasn't touched on enough back then. Now there's it's coming to light with a lot of people, pages creating stuff like that or whatever. But it's just back then, like, and I was always like someone reputable in my industry. Like everybody kind of knows of my name, of me in the game, I call it, like underground. And I was just thought it was funny that like some client, huge luxury boutique in Beverly Hills, was getting like 300,000 views on every video and like 200 likes, and then all the comments were like sexual comments and like "oh daddy" stuff like that. It was super awkward. Like, and the guys in Beverly, like on Rodeo Drive, his store. And I know it wasn't his fault. So I looked back and backtracked, and I saw the media company I was working, and I just called them out. I made a 20-minute video calling them out. Ended up with me getting death threats. It was sick. Yeah, it was whatever. It was funny. And the guy starts sending me like fake comments on my page, like for the 2-3 posts. It was so funny. And I called him out. And then I was okay, I'm done. Like I did this video, but I also used it as the video is called "Stop Faking Your Engagement." So it was like for people to understand. So I whatever I do, Ben, I like to teach. I'm not gonna raise a problem. I'm not bringing a solution.
Mm.
So I did that. And then the next day, someone says, "Hey, someone tells me, hey, this guy, Wealth, his Instagram is Wealth. Yeah, I'll call you out again. Wealth, at Wealth. You're lucky I'm even shouting you out right now. But anyways, he's like a fan of mine says, hey, this guy like scammed me, like literally had me like tell me he's gonna buy my page, He had me give the password first and then dipped, because after he showed him his life, oh, look at my car, look at my house, I get trust. Poor kid, you know. He's like, it's all I had for real. He's like, it's all I had. The 250,000 follower house, and me, it broke me. Because when I was at certain followers, someone stole my work, and I was so I knew, I felt the kid, you know. Imagine, it's your bread and butter too. So I went, grabbed my phone, and I have a big name, and I'm like, hey guys, this guy, you have half an hour to return the page to me, or I'm gonna finish you. And I never do that. And then right after, I'm sorry, bro. I was like, what's your excuse? And like, oh, blah 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 blah. Give me the password. Gives me the password back. I messaged the kid. I'm like, yo, I got your page back. Give it to him. And then everybody heard of that underground. And they're like, yo, you're the Instagram Batman.
That's awesome.
So we went, and out of the stories, we made a video called the Instagram Batman, right?
Yeah.
So someone made this, right? Scammers, fraudsters, be careful, the Instagram Batman's coming for you. And we made a 5-minute video on me busting this guy and calling him out. So after that, everybody started calling me the Instagram Batman, because I went, I picked the place, and this is where it came from. And then I retired.
Yeah.
You know why? Because when I need to call someone out, though, I call them out on my stories. I don't care, you know. But it's just like I don't want to be like, and it's the type of stuff that goes viral. People would have loved. I would have made a YouTube channel calling people out and stuff, but I don't want to get caught up in this negative spiral. I don't want to get caught up. Like I have a business. I have a job. I don't want people sending me death threats. I have a family. I'm trying to do something, and I could do it. When I need to do it, I do it in public. I did it recently to someone else too, like a couple months ago. I was like, hey, like, that's not right. Like, you can't be stealing people money, and I'll do it on my social media, and nobody wants that. But you know, and then came this page on Instagram called Baller Busters.
Yep.
Right. So I was just like, so it's just like, fuck it, you know, I'll leave it to them, you know, like whatever, like just leave them. They're doing let them take all the heat and do the cleanup, and I'll just do me, you know. So, but that's where the Instagram Batman came out of, and sometimes I do feel like bringing him back, and maybe I'll do one of these days, but I don't want to be caught up in that stuff right now, you know.
That completely. Yeah, you hung up the cape temporarily, and we'll see if it has to come out.
If I need to come out, I'll come out. I do things but I do still handle things in private. Like when someone gets screwed over, like I make calls, because I don't like that. The industry, I've always wanted to keep the industry clean. Social media space is dangerous. A lot of scammers, a lot of hackers, a lot of bad people. Yeah. Even a lot of the people that come in and try to teach you shit, like, you know, they're not good people, and people don't see that, unfortunately. Yeah. But, you know, it is what it is. That's the problem with social. That's the problem with online. You can't tell sometimes who's real, who's not. But right now, why I try to point out authenticity as much as possible is now the consumer, the follower, has a bullshit detector.
Yeah,
like they can tell. You can tell when someone's not being, you know, real anymore.
No, I like that a lot, man. Thank you for sharing that. That was awesome. So I enjoyed following along with that whole episode of that Instagram Batman. So that's awesome. So now a question I got for you is, obviously there's a lot going on right now with the whole coronavirus, all that stuff. What is something that you think everyone needs to hear right now?
It's going to be okay. Like, just smile. You know, you're blessed to, like, it made me realize, like, I'm so blessed. Like, thankfully I'm healthy. Family's healthy. I'm very saddened to see people go. People get hurt. Families getting, you know, and even 2020 has been a hell of a year. Look at what happened in Lebanon 2 days ago. Mm-hmm. And I was having a day and a half. I almost got in a bad car accident that night. And I was like, and I did it. Nothing happened. Nothing at all. And I'm like, wow, wait, I could have been in Beirut right now. You know what I mean? Like 300,000 homeless. So it's just like, everything's going to be okay. Just keep plowing through it. I know it's hard, and it's easy to say, like, people could say, oh, that's an easy way to push mental health or like depression on the rug. No, it isn't. It's just, I know people's hardships. I've been there myself. It's just, you got to trust the process. You got to believe in yourself, and no matter what it is, you're going to find a way out of it. You know? So yes, coronavirus is a thing. Whether people believe in it or not, it doesn't matter. There's quarantines being set, and they're hurting people. There's lockdowns in certain cities. It's hurting people. Not everyone has an online business that can run from a basement like me, or from an office like I am, I can work from anywhere. Not everybody has that going on for themselves. It's hurting and affecting a lot of people, but just be a source of light rather than adding more than what's going on. And if you need help, seek for advice, follow the right people, ask, speak to people. Very often on my platform, you'll see me just like, I'll make a post like, how are you? Like, let's talk. Let's, just, it helps people. So that's what also keeps me going, my personal page. It's just every single day I have at least 5 people like, hey, like, thank you. You even the fact that you're dancing in your car and like smiling, and it makes me happy. So just be that person.
Amazing, man. Amazing. I think you're right. I think everyone needed to hear that. So after someone watching this or listening to this and they want some more Farouk in their life, they want to live the good life, essentially. I'll throw that in there as a pun. How can they connect with you? Like, where can they connect with you? What's your Instagram handle? What's Good Life's Instagram handle? All that good stuff. How can they
if you really want to get me as much as possible, you follow my personal page, Farouk. Literally, it's Farokh, and my first name gang over here. That's my page. And if you want to follow Good Life, it's literally Good Life, GODLIFE. That's my luxury page.
Yep.
And aside from that, I will be launching a YouTube channel. It's enough. It's been 6 years. I'm saying that.
Yeah, you should, man.
6 years. And you know what? I want to have my own vlog. We started filming this week, so I don't know what the name's gonna be. Maybe you can give me a few tips about that. We'll talk about it after.
For sure, man.
And yeah, but really, I'll send you the links if you want to put them in the description, whatever. But it's really my Instagram. I'm very active in my comments, like I said, so you can DM me, but be active with the comments and let's talk there. And that's where I am. Yeah.
Amazing, man. Yeah, definitely start the YouTube channel. When you do, hit me up with any questions you have. Happy to help. And for anybody watching this, they will be linked in the description box of this podcast and the YouTube video. So go check them out. Go follow Farouk. And once again, I just want to say thank you for your time, Farouk. You killed it today. Like always, I expected nothing less. So I appreciate your time today, man.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate you, and I love all of you guys. So thank you so much.
Of course, brother. You have a great day.
You too, bro.
Peace.